Bloomberg estimates that by 2025, 10% of all passenger vehicles sold worldwide will be electric. In 2020, 1.7 million EVs were sold. That number will jump to 8.5 million in 2025. NIO, otherwise known as Tesla of China, is one of the most promising players who have a shot at becoming a global leader in the EV space. In 2020, NIO sold over 50,000 cars. What if I told you that by 2025, NIO will 10 times double that and sell 600,000 cars in 1 year? Sounds crazy? Let's find out. What's up guys, I'm Fanny from Studio Invest, and in today's video we're going to step into the future and explore NIO in 2025. I'll provide you with a price prediction first, and then we'll dive into the factors that influence this outlook. But right off the bat, we here at Studio Invest think that NIO will thrive over the next 5 years. Here's 5 reasons why. 1. They move faster than anyone else. 2. The Chinese government is backing them. 3. They're expanding overseas. 4. Services are their secret weapon. And 5. In a few years, they will become profitable. Please keep in mind that nothing mentioned in this video should be seen as financial advice. We're bullish on NIO as of right now, but a lot of things can change over 5 years. So don't blindly accept this as a buy recommendation. By investing in the stock market, you run the risk of losing money. With that out of the way, let's dive into it. Electric vehicles are the future of transportation. Even legacy automakers are now scrambling to bring their own EV lineups to the market. Tesla has the first mover advantage in this space, but whenever a product category is in the early adoption stage, companies are still vying for a market dominance. NIO is one of those companies who have set themselves apart. Their speed of implementation and unique advantages have enabled them to carve out their own slice of the EV market, and being only 6 years old, they're just getting started. Before we dive into the factors influencing NIO's future, let's get an idea of whether the stock is going to the moon or into the garbage. Remember, the more NIO increases in value, the more capital they will be able to allocate to their ambitious projects. Price prediction. 5 years is a long time, so the further we try to forecast, the less reliable these predictions become. But investors still use these hypothetical numbers to gauge how strongly a stock is either following or deviating from a price target. CNN Money analysts predict that over the coming 12 months, NIO stock could be worth anywhere from $91 to $327 per share. Websites like GovCapital and Wallet Investor use machine learning algorithms to generate stock forecasts. According to them, by 2025, NIO stock will be worth between $286 and $359 per share. Analysts, both human and machine, seem to think that NIO might go so far as to 8 times its share price by 2025. With a seemingly bright future ahead, how will NIO grow in the next 5 years? NIO's ultimate success will be determined by their ability to own a large slice of the EV market, become profitable, and expand outside of China. Let's explore some of these key factors. Vehicle models. NIO has already brought 4 vehicles to the market. 1 sports car, the EP9, 2 mid-sized SUVs, EC6 and ES6, and 1 full-size SUV, ES8. Their best-selling car in 2020 was the ES6 by more than double the ES8, with a measly 2,400 EC6 sold. NIO has found product market fit in the premium SUV market, with the ES6 priced between $54,000 to $83,000. But they're also going to try their hand at other vehicle classes in the coming years. NIO has an additional SUV coming in 2022, 1 minivan in 2022 and 2 sedans in 2021, currently in development. If all goes according to plan, NIO will have produced 6 vehicles in the span of 6 years. No other EV maker has been able to match this speed. Tesla has produced 7 vehicles over 12 years. XPeng has produced 2 vehicles in 2 years. Li Auto has only produced 1 vehicle to date, though to be fair. Lia stated that they are taking a quality over quantity approach, inspired by the likes of Apple. Nikola, Lucid, Rivian, Fisker, and Faraday all have vehicles that are currently in development or pre-production. But the most interesting NIO model unveiled to date is the EVE. According to most sources, full self-driving cars will appear on the road over the next 10 years. Global data estimates that they will be available as soon as 2024. The EVE showcases NIO's vision for the autonomous car of the future. Not so much a car as it is a living space. It can accommodate 6 passengers while still leaving you with ample legroom. It's also equipped with their AI companion, Numi, who by 2025 will be able to personalize each passenger's experience with, for instance, augmented reality. NIO even plans to merge its vehicle into a swarm intelligence that will make transportation faster as the vehicles coordinate with each other to avoid congestion. Self-driving. Since 2018, the NIO Pilot has been making waves towards self-driving with features like lane keeping assist, automatic parking assist, adaptive cruise control, and cross-traffic alert brake. NIO likes to view its self-driving system in terms of how much time it can free up for users and how many accidents it can prevent, with the second being the most critical factor. Developing the NIO Pilot is one of the key reasons NIO needs to expand internationally. Self-driving AI needs to collect millions of miles worth of data before it's reliable. According to a RAND Corporation research paper, an autonomous vehicle fleet needs about 161 million miles to demonstrate their ability to drive up to 20% safer than a human driver. In December 2020, NIO announced that its customers have already driven over 100 million kilometers, or 62 million miles, with a NIO Pilot. Over the next 5 years, NIO Pilot will easily double or even quadruple its driving data, just in time for widespread commercial adoption. It's also worth mentioning that NIO is uniquely suited to serving self-driving cars. Their battery swap stations and roadside services are both hands-free, and any given vehicle status can be monitored via the NIO cloud system. One of NIO's most interesting moves in 2020 was to partner with Israeli self-driving technology company Mobileye. NIO will manufacture vehicles that integrate with Mobileye's Level 4 AV kit, which offers full self-driving capability. Mobileye plans to start rolling out its robotaxi business in 2020 in Israel. This partnership won't make NIO that much money during the testing phase. But after 2022, once Mobileye expands into China, Europe, and the US with thousands of vehicles, NIO will be generating $2 to $5 billion in additional revenue. NIO now has 2 different ways to succeed in the self-driving space: the NIO Pilot for vehicles owned by consumers and NIO Mobileye vehicles for ride-sharing. All this to say that NIO is well prepared for the next decade as self-driving becomes mainstream. And while it is still too early to say whether full self-driving will be street legal all around the world, NIO's hometown of China will be among the first adopters. International expansion. For all the excitement that NIO has been drumming up worldwide, the company has only operated in China up to now. NIO announced plans to expand into Europe in the second half of 2021. But can the company succeed overseas like it has on its own turf? NIO is a Chinese company at its core, and has benefited strongly from that. The Chinese government has saved NIO from the brink of collapse on more than one occasion, providing the company with a $1 billion bailout in 2019, not to mention the incentives that electric vehicle makers and owners receive in China. Since 2010, China has been providing $7,000 to $9,000 in subsidies to automakers and users to boost its EV industry. It's a good thing China has NIO's back, because it probably would have been allowed to fail if it was started in any other country. As a first step in its larger expansion plans, NIO has recently announced that by 2021, their cars will be available in Europe. But in expanding overseas, NIO's homegrown advantage might turn into its weakness. NIO needs to find a way to appeal to Western buyers, because over the years, they have become distrusting of vehicles made in China. But Aside from that image problem, NIO's vehicles are a great fit for the European market. Since SUVs are the preferred car type in Europe, NIO can offer some much-needed variety in the premium EV space. Next to Europe, the United States is the biggest electric vehicle market, which makes it NIO's next logical move over the next 5 years. Now, let's say NIO becomes a runaway hit overseas. How will they simultaneously keep up with the local and international demand? Vehicle production. While NIO currently outsources the production of its cars, that can be seen as a long-term weakness but a short-term strength. In relation to the short-term, outsourcing is the primary reason why they've been able to grow as quickly as they have. NIO outsourced its car production to the NIO Jinghua, and I've got no idea how to pronounce that. Let's call our other team member Joy. How are you?
Hey, what's up?
Are you eating? Good. Hey, I have a question. How do you pronounce the Anhui Jingwai? I don't know how to say it.
Okay, it's really simple. Okay, follow after me.
Okay.
Ching Chong Ding Chong.
What?
I can't even keep a straight face. It's Anhui
Anhui Zhonghuai.
It helps if you have a chopstick in your hands when you do it.
What it does? Okay, I'll pretend here then.
Yeah, do that.
So Anhui Jingwai.
Jianghuai.
Zhonghuai.
Whatever.
Okay, good. I'll leave that to you. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, and by the way, also let's see if I can find it here. The word is Guangzhou, I think, something like that.
I think it's Guangzhou.
Guangzhou? Okay, good. Perfect. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Hey, have fun with the video.
Thank you. See you soon. Automobile Group Corporation, Jock Motors. While it was planning to build its own Shanghai factory, but scrapped it in favor of ramping up production. And they've continued operating under the same agreement since. But going forward, NIO is going to need more factories, not just to scale up production, but also to keep up with Tesla's high profit margins. In 2019, NIO was already looking to build a new plant in Beijing, when CEO William Li said that they will evaluate all possibilities and will not completely rule out their plan to build the Beijing factory independently. The first choice is still manufacturing with a partner, which is our consistent strategic thinking. To 10 times double their current vehicle deliveries in 5 years, while also expanding overseas, NIO will need at least 3 factories. Another larger factory in China, because the Hefei factory will not be able to keep up with the demand as NIO's local market share grows. Shenzhen currently has the second highest density of NIO stations, with Beijing coming in third. So I would expect a new NIO factory to be built in one of those 2 cities. Over in Europe, it is Norway, the UK, and France who have the biggest EV market share. But I believe it's more likely that NIO will base itself in Germany for the same reasons that Tesla has. Germany lies at the center of Europe with a pro-EV government and a lot of historical car manufacturing expertise. In the United States, California and Washington have the highest number of electric vehicles. But Florida and Texas have... Wait. Please push the notification bell. That's what's here. And subscribe.
And like the channel.
And like the channel. But Florida and Texas have been growing at the fastest rate. If California maintains its position as the most EV-friendly state by the time NIO expands into the US, then it will base its factory there. But the latest developments are not trending in that direction. The only question that remains is whether NIO will partner up with established manufacturers for its overseas factories or operate them independently. As with most other areas of their business, we believe NIO will continue to rely on partnerships. The NIO Hefei factory's body shop is almost fully automated and has the capacity to mass produce 100,000 cars a year. There isn't much room for the factory to expand, but Increases in vehicle production efficiency can grow the Hefei factory's production capacity to 125,000 units per year by 2025. NIO's second factory, let's say in Beijing, will be at least twice as big as the one in Hefei. I believe they will be aiming to produce 200,000 vehicles a year. The European factory will be able to produce around 150,000 vehicles a year. And the United States factory will have a production capacity of about 100,000 vehicles per year. By 2025, NIO will be producing a combined total of about 600,000 cars per year. Electric vehicles and charging stations feed off of each other. The higher the number of electric vehicle owners, the more charging stations are needed. The more charging stations are built, the more people are willing to become electric vehicle owners. How will NIO adapt to the increasing power needs of its customers? Power network. NIO operates over 1,000 charging stations in China. Unlike its competitor, Tesla, who had to kickstart most of the US charging infrastructure, China already has a large charging infrastructure that is growing year on year. So, instead of just building more of what's already there, NIO is focused on developing partnerships, even going so far as to team up with local competitor, XPeng. The number of charging stations in China now sits at over 500,000. At an average growth of nearly 100,000 stations per year, we can make a conservative estimate that China will have over 1 million charging stations by 2025. In October 2020, NIO invited other charging providers to help contribute over 30,000 stations to this total. So, charging stations will not be a problem for NIO car owners. Though NIO continues to expand its supercharging network to lower the barrier to entry for new EV owners, their long-term bet is on battery swap stations. They already operate more than 140 battery swap stations in China, spread across 59 cities like Shenzhen, Beijing, and Guangzhou, with the highest concentration of stations in Shanghai. NIO has also recently announced that they have 100 more battery swap stations coming. In 5 years' time, NIO will have around 1,000 battery swap stations worldwide, with about 500 in China alone. Its lead in battery swap technology will have quadrupled by then, with a combined total of more than 2.5 million swaps performed. It's hard to imagine any other EV maker catching up on this front. NIO's battery swap operation could eventually become so efficient that it's performed in under a minute. These technological leaps are all well and fine, but to become a self-sustaining company, NIO should be able to turn a profit sometime in the future. Let's dig into NIO's earnings and estimate what their finances will look like by 2025. Revenue and profit. NIO struggles to become profitable, but the gap between its total revenue and expenses has been steadily closing. They went from losing more than $2 billion just a year ago, but losing just shy of $1 billion in September 2020. If NIO maintains or even exceeds its breakneck momentum and doesn't run out of money, they can become profitable in the next 3 years. At the same time, however, the Chinese government has reduced the tax incentive for new electric vehicles by 10% in 2020 and extended subsidies for cars costing less than approximately $45,000, which means that NIO will have to reduce the price of their commercial models, which are priced between $50,000 to $80,000, or produce cheaper vehicles to qualify for this 10% tax deduction. It's too early to tell what effect this will have on NIO's vehicle sales. If NIO doesn't produce more affordable vehicles, this updated tax incentive can pull the brakes on its rapid growth. But fear not. I'll tell you how else NIO plans to reduce vehicle prices. NIO makes money in two main ways. 1. Vehicle sales, and 2. Service packages. The former is straightforward, and as mentioned above, has been operating at a loss for years now. The latter, however, includes its battery swapping service. This is an area where they truly shine in comparison to the rest of the EV market. Their battery subscription service, BaaS, slashes thousands of dollars off their vehicle prices, which will incentivize more EV adopters to choose NIO. BaaS will allow vehicles at the lower end of NIO's price range to qualify for China's tax incentive anyway. Besides BaaS, NIO has also taken a page from Tesla's pricing strategy, While I don't believe NIO will stop producing cars for the premium market, their initial models were always intended to target wealthy buyers at a high price point. Over time, as they release more models and factor in battery as a service, their vehicle prices will become much more accessible to your average consumer. With continued success, NIO will be able to produce a car in the $20,000 to $30,000 price range by 2025. In the third quarter of 2020, NIO generated $38 million in revenue from other sales, which consists of home charger installations, service packages, BaaS, and accessories. While we don't know much of this revenue is owed to the service package, services and accessories will become a substantial revenue source over the next 5 years. Unlike most EV makers, who are purely focused on the car and technology front, NIO has expressed their desire to become more than that, a mobility ecosystem and a lifestyle brand. To that end, there is the NIO House, a store and modern co-working space rolled into one. And then there's NIO Life, which makes products in the food, music, and clothing space. Don't underestimate the importance of brand affinity in the success of technology products. Apple is a poster child for a technology company that beats the competition through customer loyalty, and NIO intends to do the same. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully, what you learned today has impacted your future outlook on NIO. If you'd like to buy some EV stocks with zero commissions and also support the channel, please use the eToro link in the description box. Also join our Discord community to discuss EV stocks and suggest future video ideas. Will NIO become profitable by 2025? Will they find success in other countries like they have in China? We think NIO has a great chance of succeeding in the European market, but we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Leave your comments below and smash that like button while you're at it. And also please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to smash that notification bell. Until next time.